Out. We getting started right now. Clarity to it and showing how we can improve the situation, the things that we're facing. Of course, it's unfortunate that the that the police brutality and the different things that's going on in the community. Our people are out here protesting. We've been protesting for a long time and it hasn't done anything. So obviously we have to do something new. For people who've been studying this Moorish science, a lot of people, or most people, don't even really understand the structure of our society and how it works. I'm going to play this clip for you really quick. It's from a class that we had earlier today. I think you guys are really going to learn a lot from this, but check this clip out. If this information is new to you, you definitely need to watch this and share. Okay, so check this out. You have to come into your society so that you can be recognized by the family of nations. It's not hard because you're not doing it by yourself, and you're doing it as a collective, but it's necessary. If you're not, then you are subject to all of the abuses that anyone wants to heap upon you, because even though you recognize yourself as a Moor, we're stateless. And this is how come I'm sure there had to be some people in Louisiana when Hurricane Katrina went down that knew that they were Moors. There were probably some who knew that they were Washita Moors, and it didn't matter. They called our people refugees. The president of the United States called our people refugees. And it wasn't just words. They treated them like that. They herded them in. Man, I was living in Memphis, Tennessee at the time. So like a lot of people came into our city from that area. And like, I know, like they were hurting. Like real street dudes were crying. Like they went through a lot of horrible things and a lot of our people perished. They were undesirables. And it didn't matter if they knew that they were Moors. We have to have a government. We can't circumvent that, brother. There's no way around that. If anyone wants to circumvent that, that's why I was saying earlier they can kick rocks, because you're trying to circumvent the only salvation we have. Not you, but saying anyone who wants to get around that. No. And I'm sure there were some brothers in Hurricane Katrina who knew that they were Moors, because it was a lot of people in that area who knew that they were Washita Moors. But like that knowledge is not all that you need. You have to move as a collective in the physical world, the nation. That knowledge alone isn't going to save you. Okay? We have to do this as a collective. And if it's tiresome, or, I don't know what to tell people, but as a collective, it's not all on you. You'll see like those protections, they ain't had those protections in Louisiana. They called them refugees. There's no reason on earth the president of America should be coming up and referring to these people as refugees and then treating them like that. Cuba tried to send them aid, tried to send them water and food, medical supplies. They blocked it. Why? Because these are our slaves and we control them. We say they get no aid, and that's what they did. They blocked it. And the people in New Orleans, they were suffering. Those are our people. They couldn't even speak up for themselves and say, "No, we need that. Send that to us." Master P couldn't speak for them and say black people, because he's like, "What are you doing?" Because they can't speak for themselves. He speaks for us because we don't have our own government. Our Supreme Grand Sheikh is supposed to be able to speak for us. Our government is supposed to be able to speak for us. The president ain't so yeah, knowing that you're more is great and all, but if you don't have a government, who speaks for you? Donald Trump, who's your governor?
Who's the Grand Sheik? Is it Taj?
Now, the Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America is Brother Keith Dedrigel. He's actually Brother Edward Millie Ill's grandson. Edward Millie Ill is the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He actually made him the Supreme Grand Sheik before he died. He was the Supreme Grand Sheik and chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And the way that our government runs, that's the executive portion. And then you have the Supreme Grand Council, Council of Seven, tried and true and accepted by you. That's the judicial portion. And then we have Grand Sheiks and chairmen and grand governors, of all the temples in all the different states. and that's the legislative portion. But the problem is you got people who've been studying this stuff for years who don't even know that. And these are civics, because these are the civics of your own nation. How you not gonna know the civics of your own nation? And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself. I have been studying this stuff for well over a decade and didn't even know some of this stuff, most of this stuff, until I actually got into the temple. And that's, sad. They wasn't teaching it in the streets because it's not cool. They weren't teaching it online because it don't sound as cool as saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, none of these laws apply to me." And that's very irresponsible of people to teach or to say that, and circumvent the government. I interview Brother Taj. I, respect Brother Taj, talk to him every now and then. He was on this Moorish America podcast I have. I interview him and I asked him, like, is there anything that you want to share before we close? And he advised people to come into the temple. And I didn't ask him to say that. I had no idea he was going to say that. I can't make Taj say anything. I just asked him. And he said that because, like, he would never come against the prophet and he would never come against the temple. He knows that's our government. Okay? And I'm not putting words into his mouth or anyone else's mouth. I mean, you could ask him that yourself, but like, the reason why he advised people to come in, he also said to come in with your eyes open, so that you can come in and be ready to move. Like, I'm not going into the temple and just like people going to be in there not doing anything, right? We're moving as a unit in Columbus. We're not playing games. So if there's people who's not taking it serious, they're gonna have to move on somewhere. They're gonna get eaten alive because we're not here to play with this, right? If people don't take this seriously, it will eat them up. Okay, this is not to be played with, and it can't be circumvented. And that's why, like, like in New Orleans, trust me, there were some brothers who knew and some sisters that knew that they were Washita Moors or just Moors in general, and it did nothing for them, man. They was treated like refugees, called refugees. They were literally killing them. They literally were blocking off the bridges so they couldn't get out of there, right? And it was, terrible situation. So knowing it is not good enough. Being of the blood is not good enough. Having your government, moving with your government, having your government represent you, that's what has to be done. It can't be left alone. Okay? There's no reason on earth. Okay, all right. I'm gonna pause it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and play this whole recording just from earlier today. I think it's a must. People, check this out. Make sure you click like and share. This is gonna be very informative. I'm so glad that the people on the call asked these questions. This was great. And like I said, it's just really informative and enlightening, and it's good to share. And nobody's, speaking like this to speak down on anyone. Like you heard me say in that clip, I didn't know this stuff myself, so I'm definitely not trying to act like I'm above anyone. They don't teach this in school. Like, shout out to brother Jonathan Scott Bay said in the chat, because this was hidden, right? This was hidden, okay? They weren't teaching it in the schools. They not teaching it. They're not even mentioning anything about Moors in the mainstream unless there's some way they could clown it so bad that it looks stupid. Okay? They're not even trying to do that, really, because they don't even want to give it any shine because they don't want you to wake up. Okay? When I say they, I'm not talking about some invisible they. I'm talking about these people like the George Soros and all these real people who are like billionaires who are financing Black Lives Matters and all of these other things that are using us like pawns, to try to eke out another 10 or 15 years. At this point, they're probably just trying to get another 4, 5, 6, 7 years of rule out of this. And they can only rule if we are asleep, if we still got our heads in recognized government that we have. All right. And that's really was the main point of that. But there's a lot that's going to be discussed in here. So first and foremost, we always raise and give the highest praise. Excuse me, our holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, honors to the forerunner, to the prophet, and we give honors to all leadership, honors to everything Moorish, and honors to all of you in attendance, and honors to you also for sharing this, because I know you're going to click like and share, because you know that this isn't going to get promoted unless we do it, right? Nobody's trying to get this out unless we do it, so it's on us. So yeah, we're going to get it started. Check this video out, and share. All right, that's all that we asking. Peace and love.
I am not a Negro, Black, colored, African American. I'm a Moorish American. Peace.
Yeah. Hey, 5 on the right. Yo. We just Moors in America, soar through the shores and endure criminal acts of war on our character. 7 years after the 4th score, no reward. Shout out to the most courageous, they was jumping over barriers. Where does that compare to you? We come from a place where you scared to visit our area. We come from a place where it's scary for good Samaritans. Heavy luggage we carrying, babies having babies. It's crazy being American. Praise the one and only Allah, there's no comparison. La ilaha illa Allah, body and buried gin. Laughing at you clowns like ha-ha, dodging the Nephilim. Conquer lower self with a high, follow your regimen. Way before they came we were gods and now we specimen. Tried to take the light from our eyes, thank God for Edison. Then they put the wool on our eyes, it's so embarrassing. Now we travel frequently, we should invest in Sheraton. All of us got gold on our bodies whenever we stepping in. Screaming Ramadan Mubarak, training the flesh again. Wishing we could move as a unit just like the Mexicans. Dodging all the foods with estrogen, synthetic medicines. All sin isn't devilish. Sometimes the decisions that you make come for a better gift. Sometimes when you sin is to relate to all your brethren. Heavenly gates all in our face, we the champions. We live in the sky, we see the angels on the chariots. Waiting on the $20 bill, facing Harriet. I bet you I'ma carry it. I'm in love with music to the point I wanna marry it. But my love for people is greater, so I write messages. Largest spending power, but we still sit at a deficit. Living amongst prejudice, even at our residence. Moors in America, flourishing, excellent. Let's buy up some neighborhoods and groom our own president. Yeah. And I come to you today with all intentions of spreading love, truth, peace.
He was. All right. So, once again, I want to thank everybody. This is getting started right now. Just make sure you're sharing this video, okay? Don't just watch this because once again, this information is not getting put out in the mainstream. It's not getting promotion. George Soros and others like not trying to focus on that one person, but he's not cutting me a check, right? It's not like Black Lives Matters. They not paying 6 figures for me to get out here and put this stuff out there, okay? So this is just like a labor of love. We just do this, to help teach and spread the information. And
Islam.
Appreciate you. Click like and share. Check this out.
Islam, peace and love.
Peace. How you doing?
All's well.
Oh yeah, one more thing though. Like I said, Soros ain't breaking off any money, but you can
man, I'm good,
send
man.
a
We holding
donation to
What's
Cash
that,
App Moors in America. All right, you could just put the little $ Moors in America, and you could send us a donation, and also make sure you share this video to help get this information out there. All right, because this is important, and especially what's talked about in here. All right, so I think y'all will really appreciate this information that gets dropped.
All right, man. Peace. How's everybody?
To me, I don't look at it that way.
Islam.
Islam. Yeah, what were you saying, brother?
I was looking at it more as all of us, you know what I'm saying? All of us, we be safe, we smart, you know what I'm saying? All this mind. So we keep everything going where we need to go. Even though what the everything is across the whole country is going down, even across other countries. They are actually angry at the situations of what the people be on. So, I mean, it's not like a bad thing. You know, we look at everything as an alchemist, and we are Moors. So it may be, you know, opportunity for time. Islam.
Now you right in this act. I mean, we know as Moorish Americans, we're light bearers, so we have to look at things to see, you know, the bigger picture. And we've already been prepared. We know these are the end times, so none of this stuff should be surprising to us. We already know, you know, it's going to be hectic, up and down, rumors of war all the time, you know, all of these things. We were just speaking last time from Matthew chapter 24 in the Bible. I mean, we know, we see these things. So it's going to be like this. And, you know, like you were saying, it's not all bad. You know, there's a cleansing going on. The whole planet's cleansing, right?
Islam.
And just
I
like
totally agree.
Go ahead. It's 584.
I was gonna say, me and Shaw Bay, we had went downtown Dayton yesterday, and we was in a protest, but our intent was to show up and, you know, raise awareness to the Moors being in Dayton or whatever, and we had the flyers from the census, and then we was walking with or the demonstration or whatever, but you know, we was handing out flyers at the same time, and then we striking people interest and stuff like that, especially the first wave of protests kind of failed or whatever, but the people that was leading it wasn't good leaders. And it just looked at all bad, but it was just funny because I got to see a lot of people in Dayton do know about the Moors or whatever, so we was able to, you know, get the message out a little bit. And the funny thing, we walked past the sheriff, and the sheriff knew exactly who we were, so that was a blessing. Just get out there and see, experiment, and it wasn't like major destruction down here, but it was a bunch of aimless, just a bunch of walking and marching for no reason, like no guidance. You feel what I'm saying?
Hello?
But it was cool to see. It was cool to see that, you know, it was cool to see the scene on how people operate. So Islam.
Yeah, Islam, and you gotta understand, you know, they were trying to cause a race war to wind up shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, it looks like in all actuality it's against citizens and government and police. And it's been going on for what 80, 90 years. I mean, since the police been around. So ain't no structure change. It's just that you know that it's the end of their thing. You know, like everything has its end. Everything has its beginning and its end. Everything has its cycle. And I look at it like the good thing is the cycle. When everybody talk about the end, and which mean the end of the world, it's the end of the world meaning how you used to look at things. That's the end. And that's a great thing for Moors when we look at the end, because look at when we step into the plate, and then what Drew Ali told us, get ready. And that's the end, and the end is great. Islam.
Islam, you know, I'm with you on that. The end times definitely not the end for us. It's a transition. This is a great time, man. We definitely need a cleansing. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the people on here, but I'm definitely not satisfied with how things are. I'm ready for this stuff to be cleansed, you know, for change, you know, for the better. So, I mean, I'm welcoming it. I know it, you know, it's not all pleasant and good. You know, some of these things seem, you know, straight up horrible, you know, but that's a part of the process. And as Moors, we have to be able to see that and recognize it, and not get so much caught up in our emotions. Doesn't mean we can't be active and working to, you know, protect ourselves and get what we need, but we have to do everything strategically, you know, because we descend from the creators of civilization. So, you know, we have to move a little differently. All right. And then we also are charged with the task of uplifting fallen humanity. And in fallen humanity, you know, from our perspective, that's going to start with us because we're the creators of civilization and we've fallen from those ways, right? So we have to act the part and do it and then help teach our people, help them get back in that position. All right. And we can't do that if we're, you know, struggling too. So we have to work on ourselves, which is what you always have to do, strengthen us, and then we can help the, you know, the greater community, the larger community. Okay, Islam, to the brother or sister on the iPhone in Maryland. Also, can you please type your name in the chat?
Join the meeting.
Your name and either phone number or email. Okay, and we're gonna be getting started in about 5 minutes. Okay, so before we get started though, I'm just gonna start off just introducing myself, and we just ask that everybody introduces themselves and also shares their location. And in the chat, you can put your phone number or email. All right, we take attendance at all of our meetings. So we just ask that everybody shares their phone or email and speak up, state your name and location. Brother Lloyd Douglas L., chairman of Muslim Mission 30 in Columbus, Ohio, in Central Ohio. We're with the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam.
Cremus Jones Bay, Columbus, Ohio, Mission 30, Islam.
Brother Cole, Dayton, Ohio, Islamism, everybody.
Brother Shaw, Dayton, Ohio, represent Mission 30, Islamism.
Islam, Brother Seymour Bay, Mission 30, Columbus, Ohio.
Islam, Brother Alim Ibn Solomon, Columbus, Ohio.
Brother Brandon Graham Thomas Bay, Maryland, representing Mission 30.
Akron, Ohio, Mission 30.
Stacy Lachey L., Mission 30, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Islam, Tracy Plater Bay, representing Mission 30 from Waldorf, Maryland.
Peace, Ross Davis L., Akron, Ohio, Summit County, Mission 30.
All right, Islam, for the people who just joined, a couple people just came in. We're just going through, basically we take roll at every meeting. Everybody's just getting on the mic and announcing themselves, just your name. Let us know where you're calling from. And also in the chat, please share either your phone number or your email. All right, this is Brother Douglas L., chairman of Mission 30 in Columbus, Ohio. We're with the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Brother West, Denver, Colorado.
Brother Hakeem Malik Ali, Dayton, Ohio.
Shaquem Bay, New York Territory.
Even if you share your phone number, because we're gonna send some information out when this is over. So everybody will share their email. You type your email and phone number. All right, peace and love. This is Brother Douglas L., chairman of Mission 30, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Columbus, Ohio. All right, we're about to get started pretty soon. Did we get everybody? Are we missing anyone? I know there's some other people that came in here recently. Just asking that everybody just announces who you are and where you're located. And then share your phone number or email in the chat. If you just got in here, if this is your first time on Zoom, if you're on the app, you can tap the screen, and that'll bring up edits. Okay, so we'll wait on those people to get it. You should see like some buttons or something come up when you touch the screen. And did the person in the 919 area code? Can somebody did on the phone? Did you already state your name and location?
Yeah, West, Denver,
Okay.
Colorado.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Hello. Hello, I'm Kanisha, Washington, D.C.
Okay, DC. All right, thanks for calling in. Peace and love. Make sure you share, if you haven't already, share your email also in the chat.
This is Christian
Greetings.
Jocelyn from Long Beach, California.
Islam. Okay, so Brother Jackson Bay, does it look like we have everybody?
Islam, yeah, the normal players and playettes, nah, yeah, the normal players here. Glad to see everybody else. There's a lot of new faces, so I think we get this on rolling. Yeah, and Bria's here. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody got a chance to announce themselves?
I believe so. We got to make that video. Yeah, and like when we first come to Mission 30 Zoom meeting.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're about to get started. Hang on one second. Okay. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open up. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Everyone, please rise and face the east. Okay, before we get started, really quickly, we have one more person. Looks like their mic isn't on. It says Jazz Guest. Gonna need you to type in the chat and say something, your name, location. If you're having trouble, maybe first time on here, if you're having trouble getting the mic on, gonna need to know something before we continue. All right, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. Maybe you can figure out your setup, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So, okay, yeah, everyone, please rise and face the east for the Moorish American prayer. Okay, if this is your first time doing this, we stand up straight, put our feet on the square, like your feet are at a 45-degree angle, heels together like in a V shape. Stand up straight, your arms perpendicular. Hold 2 fingers up on the right and hold up 5 on the left. Face the east and repeat after me. Allah.
Allah.
Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. Drew Ali. Amen. All right, okay. I'm glad all you Moors are here today. We want to announce that the meeting is now officially open. First, we always rise and give the highest praise to the Most High, the Father of the universe, Allah. We give honors to our divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us our divine creed and nationality so that we may learn to love instead of hate. Okay, we also give honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We give honors to all the 8 sheiks and all the faithful Moors that make up the grand body of the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh by the Prophet, Brother E. Millie Ill. Honors to our brother, the current Supreme Grand Sheikh, Brother K. Dandridgel, and honors to the Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Also honors to all those obeyers in attendance. Islamism. Brother Jackson Bey, please read the Divine Constitution, bylaws.
Islam, I rise giving perfect praise to Allah and honors to the Prophet, Noble Jew Ali, and honors to all the Muslims. Salvation, Allah, unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce law with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Noble Jew Ali, founder. Moorish American prayer, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office of Noble Jew Ali, Home Office, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Islam, Islam, Islamism. Happy Sunday, Muslims.
Islamism. All right. Thank you, Brother Jackson Bey. Thank you. We have somebody that just recently joined, Knowles. It says Knowles iPhone. Could you please state your name and location for us?
Yes, how's it going? My name's Parrish, and my location, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Islam, thanks for calling in. Could you
Peace.
Thanks. Please share your phone number and email in the chat. When we're done, we're gonna also send everybody that shared the information some more information, like some PDF files. All right. So
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. All right, Islam. Okay, so yeah, I want to thank all you Moors for attending. We're just gonna go through some lessons. Some of the lessons that we have are actually laws that were given to us by a divine prophet who was prepared by Allah, an end-time prophet, to prepare us for our salvation in the times that we're in right now. And so the lessons that we have are actually laws, okay? They're ecclesiastical laws that were handed down to us, and that's why we review this to make sure that we're all up on it, that we understand it inside and out. Because if we don't understand it, we can't work this to our benefit. And this is truly the salvation, the only salvation that we have. What you see on the screen, we're about to read from the Quran questionnaire. There's 101 questions in here. Well, you see that this is a drawing of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali carrying an unconscious woman. It says humanity on her. He's got the fez on his head. When you see that, this image is ancient, and it's actually been found in this area of the brother. Okay, brother, who thank you for sending me that information. Could you send that to brother Jackson Bay? He's also on here as a co-host. I'd appreciate it if you could just copy and paste that and just send it to brother Jackson Bay. That's our secretary for the temple.
Will do.
Thank you. Okay, so let me pull this up one more time. This image that you're seeing right here on the screen, this has actually been found here in the ancient culture of the indigenous people, in particular in Belize and Mexico, right? That image of an indigenous American uplifting a woman, and with one foot on solid ground and then the other foot like in the sea or in water. This has been found here. I remember we were just at a Mexican restaurant like last year, and we looked up and saw that on the wall, right? But that's like throughout Aztec culture, okay? If I could pull up a picture of that for you, I will. But also the headdress as well, right? With the fez, the red fez. There's an excerpt from this book called Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx. And in that book, there's a passage where they're talking about the nobility of ancient Peru. So they're talking about a fez. It doesn't matter what they're calling it, right? Not knocking their culture. That's what they called it. But it's a fez. And this wasn't just what everyone wore. This is what the noble class wore. And then what you're seeing here, these are from Easter Island. I've seen these Easter Island heads, like all my life. They always showed them, but I never saw them wearing this. Didn't know that they were wearing a large, red headdress, that they actually, when they carved these out of rock or volcanic rock, they made sure that they had red, to specify their headdress, okay, to show this. And this is for like the Easter Island, which is in the Pacific. It's off the coast of, I think, of Chile, right, in South America. Okay. And so like the people in the islands out there in the Pacific, they're all Asiatics. When I say Asiatics, I'm talking about us, our people. Why would I describe our people as Asiatics? This is the divine wisdom that Prophet Noble Drew Ali returned to us. He let us know that our people are Asiatics. We're not Negroes. At that time in the 1900s, they were calling us Negroes. We're not Negroes. We're not Black. We're not colored. We're not African American. They always have to change our name every 20 years or so. But we're Asiatics, and Asia is actually an ancient name for this entire realm. You're looking up here. You see it says Asia. Asia from the Kabbalah perspective, there are 4 worlds. Asia is the last of the 4 spiritual worlds of the Kabbalah. Asia was the realm of the manifest. The manifest is the physical world where we're at right now. Okay? Earth is Asia. You see these definitions, these are from Wikipedia. Earth, the objective world. The objective means the outer world out here, the physical realm, where we live with our bodies in the physical world of action. That's Asia. So when the prophet returned this to us, a brother from amongst us here in America, North Carolina, coming with this ancient wisdom and bringing it to us of all people, right? He wasn't bringing this to, the Queen of England, or, he brought it to the lowly so-called Negro who was suffering, in the Jim Crow era, right? He brought it to us and returned this divine name, this of our people, right? So we're Asiatics because we're the first to walk in the what? The physical world. So by saying that you're Asiatics, you're acknowledging that you're the original people, okay? Where creation is actualized. We're the first to walk in this, so we're Asiatics. Okay, so everything the prophet returned to us is divine, right? These weren't just thoughts and things he was just throwing out there, just testing things out. This is divine wisdom from the creator of the universe, returned to us to help us correct the situation that we're in, and that's why it truly is the only way out. All right, I couldn't find that picture on my computer with the Mexican or Aztec, ancient Aztecs holding a woman, but it's the same image that's on this this Quran questionnaire that we're gonna read from really quickly. But I'm just going over this really quickly. I mean, we always keep the prophet out front. Only reason I'm mentioning this is for, because we have some new people in here. I just want you to know this is nothing to play around with. This is very serious. And this is the only thing that connects us back to those ancient people, the creators of civilization. Okay? And so just looking at this cover, we're going to do questions 1 through 20 today. But just looking at this cover, okay, you see the prophet, looks like he's wearing a robe, carrying a woman, unconscious, says humanity. The waters, it says the cares of the world, and he's stepping onto the solid rock of foundation, okay? And before, we're wearing the fez, right? This didn't just come from one region or a certain time. People might say that's the Turkish fez, or no, it predates all of that, right? The ancient nobility of Peru were wearing it, right? They're even wearing it in Easter Island. Okay, really quickly, and I'm gonna pause right there really quickly for the people who just joined. I'm gonna need you to share your name, your location, and your email and phone number in the chat. All right. And if you're not able to do that, we're gonna have to kick you out the room. You can say it out loud, but I'll need you to share your phone number and email in the chat.
Hey, my name is Nish Smith from Miami. My email is imagodneish@gmail.com.
Can you type that email in the chat and just share it in the chat?
Okay, no problem.
I appreciate you. Thanks. Okay, and I think 1 or 2 other people also joined. So please also share that information, your name, location, email, and phone number in the chat. All right. We take roll at every meeting. So just going back to where I was leaving off, we're looking at the cover of the Quran questionnaire, and the fez is ancient. Okay, and that's really why. But this is a universal crown of wisdom. So it's universal, meaning it's not even just limited to this earth. That's why you'll see it all over the earth. Okay, and so anyone who's trying to limit it to one region, they're coming with, with a just a portion of history. They don't really know how far this goes, right? Because if it was just limited to that one region, it wouldn't make sense for the noble class in Peru to be wearing the fez as well. And, it doesn't matter if they're calling it a yantu, that's a fez. And for the brothers and sisters in the Easter Island, they're gods. These people that they made out of stone, these weren't just regular people. These were gods. These were rulers, and they're wearing the fez. All right, so this is a universal crown of wisdom, and the prophet is returning it to our head. And this is our national headdress for the Moorish American man. And then also, we also wear the turban. So the turban and the fez is the national headdress. All right, and for the fez, that symbolizes that we are in tune with the consciousness of Allah and man. All right, the creator of the universe. It represents the union of religion and peace, the coming together of earthly and divine knowledge. And that tassel, that's symbolic of the plumb line, all right, which represents upright character. And then the prophet's also wearing a robe, and the robe is symbolizing the regenerated and spiritualized nature that's woven from the threads of his own noble character and virtue. And then he's got the woman that, you know, is limp. She looks like she's unconscious, and she's in the arms of the prophet. All right. And so, like, people just thinking that's a woman, but, you know, women represent humanity, right? Without the women, humans don't even come into the earth plane. They don't even come into Asia, right? So you see him uplifting the sister, uplifting humanity, fallen humanity, all right? Also, without uplifting the women, right? Because the women are the first teachers of the children. So it's also giving you steps on how to do this. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Is it loud over there? If so, it's all right. We'll just.
Yeah, but he just left. But yeah, they're leaving.
Okay. All right. You think you can read questions P's 1 through 20?
That's fine. We can do that.
Okay.
Right, peace. I guess I'll start with the beginning then, huh? Maybe not, because we did the prayer a couple times. But Quran questions for Moorish children. 1, who made you? Allah. 2, who is Allah? Allah is the father of the universe. 3, can we see him? No. 4, where's the nearest place we can meet him? In the heart. 5, who is Noble Jurali? He is Allah's prophet. 6, what is a prophet of Allah manifested in flesh? 7, what is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. 8, 10, where? Newark, New Jersey. 11, where was Noble Jurali born? In the state of California, 1880. 13, what is your nationality? Moorish American. 14, why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. 15, for what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. 16, how did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. 17, what is our religion? Islamism. 18, is that a new or is that an old-time religion? Old-time religion. 19, what kind of flag is the Moorish? It is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. 20, what do the 5 points represent? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
All right, Islam. Thank you, Brother David Sell. Okay, really quickly, I'm gonna go back through questions 1 through 20, and we're just gonna go over them fast. And you may have some questions about them. I don't know, but we're just gonna go. You have to know that the Europeans were trying to make a case for the so-called Negro being a missing link that we're somehow disconnected from the family of humans. I know this stuff sounds insane and crazy now, but they were trying to put the creator being Allah, okay, he's connecting us to our divine heritage. And in the Quran, like in Surah 2, Ayah 30, it says specifically in there that Allah created us to be his vice regent on earth. And I always say that because, you know, I think that's extremely important to understand that you are a vice regent of Allah, and to know what the definition of vice regent is. It says that the vice regent is a ruler on behalf of a sovereign, or a person regarded as an earthly representative of God. And then it also says especially the Pope, okay? And so from a Christian perspective, you know, you could say that the Pope is the only vice regent of God on earth, okay? And something that we also talk about a lot here is that the Pope recently vacated his title as Vicar of Christ, right? Just in April, okay? So this happened very recently. Maybe I could pull this up for you really quickly, but just recently, okay, the Pope vacated this title. And that could go over a lot of people's heads.